What's up? Welcome back to another Kind of Funny Games live reaction. I don't even want to call this like the E3 season, Summer Game Fest season, but it kind of feels like the beginning of it in a couple of ways. Oh, what do you smell, Andy?
Just some oak, some mahogany.
Yeah.
But also like the start of Summer Games season, almost like a festival of it.
Almost quite the festival. Of course, I'm Tim Geddes, and I'm joined by the Nitro Rifle, Andy Cortez.
Good morning. Great morning, everybody.
And also joining is the new face of video games, Blessing Adeoye Jr.
Good morning. Get used to waking up at like 7 a.m.
I know, exactly. That's what that smell, that mahogany, that just means you're about to wake your ass up early. Greg Miller might be joining us, but he has this baby he's dealing with, trying to put it down for a nap, a 7 a.m. nap. God, I don't understand babies. Here he is. Greg Miller's popping in right now as we're about to go live with Nintendo Indie World. Really exciting stuff. It's been a while since we got one of these. A lot of cool things. I'm hoping to see some fun stuff. There's a lot of games that we could see that'd be extremely exciting, but with Indie Worlds, it always is kind of like a grab bag, mixed bag of who knows. You know what I mean? What are you expecting, Bless?
I mean, that's why I'm excited for Indie World Directs. Is they're like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're gonna get, and so like I can try and sit here and predict all day, every day, and half the time it's usually there are games that I've never heard of, and like they stick to that. Right, like every now and then I might get a surprise. You might see Sports Story. You might see, for me, I might see Neon White. Right, there's a list of games. Midnight Fight Express is one that's around the corner that I want to see as well. And so if I get anything from any of those three games, I think it's gonna be an exciting time. But I'm sure Andy Cortez is looking forward to Hollow Knight.
I have it on very good authority, Tim.
Whoa!
That we will be getting Hornet and her story in Silk Song. Very good authority. What's that authority? I was talking to my Twitch chat last night. The power of Jesus Christ and prayer.
Oh, wow.
Whoa.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, let's go.
Okay.
Came to me in a dream.
Big fan.
How you doing, Greg Miller?
I'm good. I'm coming in hot. I want to give a shout out to my son, 7 months old, but he knew this Indie Direct was happening. Finally passed out about 6:55. Exactly what we needed. Right there, ready to go. Don't have glasses, but no big deal. These indies, they're going to have blocky graphics anyway. It doesn't matter.
Sports Story, though, right? That seems like at some point we have to hear about it.
Yeah, like that's been in the ether for so long, and there was their message that they put out, like maybe over a year ago, maybe a couple years ago at this point, that they had to delay because they were reworking a lot of stuff in the game. But I think
too many sports.
We're getting on my alarm because I usually wake up at 7. We're getting around that time to where I think it could get re-revealed, and so I really hope we see that one.
Yeah. Well, it is officially 10 a.m. This thing should be starting at 7 a.m., 10 a.m. Eastern. Should be starting at any
somewhere
second. It is 10 a.m.
10 a.m.
in a lot of places. Yeah. Roger's running the show right now over in New York.
There it is.
Yeah.
Hello and welcome to Indie World. I'm Arika.
And I'm Amber. We're back today to showcase a slew of indie games coming to the Nintendo Switch system.
Our indie partners span the globe, from Sweden to Australia and Japan. And we can't wait to see what they've been cooking up. So let's get started.
It'd be cool to get inscription on Switch.
It might have been a tease for Cookie
Oh, I was thinking about this. Wait, maybe this is not what I think it is, though. Never mind.
This is Ooblets coming to Switch.
I thought this is Chia.
When we play Returnal and you have to collect obolites, Snow White might call them Ooblets.
It's because he's a man of culture, Andy. I'm surprised you don't get it.
Remember when this game launched exclusively on Epic Games Store and it was a huge controversy?
Yeah, remember how long ago that was? And then they put up the post that was like, yo, stop being whiny babies. And everyone's like, fuck you.
Glumberland.
Oh, don't you just love games that are cozy and weird?
Oh, I absolutely do. This
I love that
charming
cozy's
creature
just become
collection
a
and farm
defining
simulation
word for
game
games.
From Gunbrella has everything
it's
to
like
give
walking
you the
sim.
warm,
Yeah.
You know what we mean.
grow and train adorable little creatures called Ooblets
Magikarp.
as you cultivate new life in the blossoming community of Badgetown.
customize your character.
What town?
Befriend the locals.
Badge.
Decorate
Okay.
your house. Run your own shop. And most importantly, have epic dance battles.
Is there
You
card
can
combat?
even dress up your ooblet pals and travel to different
It
locations.
seems like anything goes on
Visit
this island.
the Arcade Path Boardwalk in Port Forward. Saunter through
There
the
are no
spooky
rules.
swamps of nowhere. And ascend the frozen peaks of Tippy Top.
Ooblets waddles its way onto Nintendo Switch this summer. Colorful and mesmerizing planets await in this fast-paced action RPG across the cosmos. In this deeply story-driven game by Stormmind Games, you'll use both strength and wits to interact with others and conquer the challenges ahead.
Balancing the duality of your
Andy, do you
physical
love the challenges ahead?
and mental powers is key.
Not if they're really tough puzzles,
Sacrifice
Greg.
one for the other
love
against
tough
opponents, and things might not turn out well for you.
Still got it.
Ultimately,
Doesn't matter how early it is. This kid's ready to go. Nitro rifle.
of your decisions. What kind of hero will you become? Choose your destiny in Batora, Lost Haven, launching on Nintendo Switch this fall.
こんにちは、生高橋です。ElecHead がもうすぐ Nintendo Switch で遊べるようになります。ElecHead は私が学生時代の頃、流れるというテーマのコンテスト向けに好きなゲームからインスピレーションを受けて開発したプロトタイプ作品になります。私が学生を卒業した後に、それをブラッシュアップしたのが本作に
He's
なり
talking
ます。
about like rhythm game shit.
シンプルな操作と
Yeah, he's talking
直
about
感的なルールからは想像もできないようなひらめく体験をご用意しておりますので、ぜひ Nintendo Switch で楽しんでみてください。
Oh shit. Yeah, this is speaking to me.
I think it was Shuhei who was talking about this game, wasn't it? At one point. It's like, ElecHead, check it out. I was like, thanks, you thanks for the recto.
Thank you.
This music's so good, though.
Yeah. All right, add it to the list.
Yeah, this looks cool.
If you're
It's a
looking
Kevin game
for
for
a
sure,
clever
too.
and challenging 2D puzzle platformer, then we've got just the game for you from Nama Takahashi, a one-person development team.
Wow.
Here, you're a small robot named Elec, who's on a mission to restore light to the world while navigating a booby-trapped facility. By using your electrifying powers to touch walls, floors, platforms, and switches, electricity will charge through them.
I've been
and
playing a
bring
lot
them
of
to life.
Patrick's Parabox on my Steam Deck.
Hey, don't
really
get
good puzzle game.
ahead of yourself.
It's not just
actually,
putting in the fact that you
should.
have a Steam Deck every 5
Detach
seconds,
and
all right?
throw your head.
Talk
to
about your
trigger
play date
objects.
once in a while.
You'll need to
What's
retrieve it
Playdate?
within 10 seconds, or else.
The aspect ratio is interesting
there
for
are
this.
plenty of hidden rooms
Good
and
Game Boy
secrets
style.
to discover.
Yeah.
So use your head, literally, to
fully
explore
expect to come over
every
to my
nook
apartment one
and
day and-
cranny of the facility.
Greg set up a lot of booby
ElecHead
traps.
bolts onto Nintendo Switch this summer.
I think you just need to be more worried about when we work together in the same office, what I'm going to set up for you.
Oh, it's a Soundfall. I played this at a PAX like 3 or 4 years ago. It's like a rhythm action game.
Well, wake up, Ben, dude.
Don't worry, I got eyes on him, Andy. This kid fucking moves, I'll know.
Here's the music, Greg. He's dancing.
Even the enemies are dancing. It's cute.
Feel the beat in Soundfall. This fast-paced, rhythm-based dungeon crawler from Noodle Cake and Drastic Games combines looter-shooter action with musical gameplay that'll keep you on your toes.
I could get into
And
this.
tapping your toes. As a guardian of harmony, you're transported to the world of Symphonia to battle the forces of discord. Move to the music solo or with up to 4
forces
players
of
locally
Discord.
or online as you
We know those
restore
well.
harmony to Symphonia's corrupted lands. Levels and encounters are
trying to
dynamically
stream some
generated
co-op
from the
SoundCloud?
music, and there are over 140 songs
Alright.
to choose from.
it.
So pick the tune you want to hear before jumping into the fray.
Time your actions to the music, and your power will increase. There are 5 different musical heroes to choose from. Over 500 pieces of equipment for skill customization.
Look at all that loot, man.
And thousands of loot combinations, giving
Legendary
you
armor.
opportunities for multiple
gold right there, too.
playthroughs.
I think it's slightly less excited when I saw the loot.
Get your
Not gonna
head
lie.
bopping to Soundfall,
tired.
launching on the Nintendo Switch system later today.
Oh shit!
Wow.
Why is it freezing in here?
You better be ready to weather the snowstorm and wild frost. Take on the harsh elements in this tactical roguelike deck builder from Deadpan Games.
The cards move
Build
like they
and
do in the description.
customize
It
your
means I'm
deck
in.
as you set off to put an end to the eternal frost.
It's cute,
Card
though. It's not- it's a
companions
cute
and
inscription.
items are at your
It's really
disposal.
cute, yeah.
Use them to battle wave after wave of monsters, from the deceptively cute penguins to brash and brutal
Penguins,
bosses.
baby.
Plan your next move using the dynamic counter system
looks a lot like,
and fell
Slay the
those
Spire.
frosty fiends. After each run,
This is one I hope
try
it comes
daily
out later today. I
challenges
play this.
or
I play this.
expand the hub town of Snowdwell to unlock new events and cards. Helpful for your fight against the perpetual winter.
Wild Frost
Holiday.
makes its snowy debut
Bah.
on Nintendo Switch this holiday.
Okay, Slay the Spire is free right now on PS Plus.
Hej, jag heter Hanna.
Und ich heiße Rebecca.
We're from Lampful
Doesn't help me on a
Games,
plane.
a small game studio based in Stockholm, Sweden.
You could get
And
on
we are
Steam Deck.
excited to announce that our game, Totally Accurate Battle Simulator, or TAPS for short, will be coming to Nintendo Switch.
We first started working on TAPS in
break your Switch.
2016. The idea was to make a game that is inspired by the feeling you got when playing with your action figures as a kid. We then added the strategy and fighting elements and turned the game into the wobbly experience that it is today.
Our wonderful community has been with us along the way and helped us shape the game with their suggestions and feedback. So together with them, we're proud to bring TAPS to this awesome platform.
Guys, lip sync isn't off, chat. It's a dub.
Translators. They're from Sweden.
Oh, fuck. That's. I'm an idiot.
Andy, how many trebuchets are in this thing?
At this moment in time, I'm thinking sub 12.
Oof. That's gonna hurt him. That's gonna hurt
That
him.
is gonna hurt him. Yeah.
You hate to see it.
I hope they account for this sort of in their quarterly reports.
When are they gonna put out a sequel to this game? I feel like I've seen this game for like 6 years.
But now on Switch.
Now it is on
Do
Switch.
the
I want
wobble wobble.
a licensed
Wait,
version.
what?
I want Marvel.
You
tags.
heard that right. In this fighting game from Landfall
5
Games,
Hulks versus 10
you'll
Iron Man. Who
lead
wins?
teams of over 100 wobblers in battle, hailing from ancient lands, spooky worlds, and fantasy realms.
Those wobbly physics are, very, wobbly.
Oh, they're awesome! And those aren't your garden variety battles either. Watch your wobblers flail and fail in silly simulated battles. Or make new ones in the unit creator and customize their size, weight, and speed, among other stats. Can't get enough of the wobble? Send them to fight your friends in online multiplayer mayhem. Say it with me. It's wobbling time.
You
I
never
will
cease
not.
to amaze me.
They made the
Totally
reference.
accurate battle simulator. Wobble. It's way onto Nintendo Switch this summer.
Oh shit. Gato or Bato was dope.
This
Oh,
looks cool.
shit.
This looks real cool.
Yeah.
It's an umbrella and it's also a gun.
That is cool.
That looks sick.
Oh Different people want their gem dragged.
Oh my god, Andy, I want to be selling gems to one guy, but getting
Gunbrella! Let's fucking go.
Yes!
Oh, what a
You're
name.
a gruff woodsman on a quest for revenge in this
Revolver, of
noir
course.
action
Yes.
adventure from Doinksoft.
Yeah, they
Armed
published
with the
Dr. Watch
titular
as well.
Gunbrella,
Greg, I'm gonna need a code for
you'll
Gunbrella. when it
maneuver
comes out.
through
got it,
various
sir.
locations, from a cultish town to a junkyard fortress. Use the Gunbrella to glide, swing, dash, dive, and take out enemies in gritty
novel
side-scrolling combat.
Yes.
We
Along
have
the
one
way,
really good
you'll
mechanic. Let's build
scavenge
the
for
whole thing around
scraps
it.
and spare parts
I love
to
that.
upgrade the Gunbrella. And employ your sleuthing skills
Devolver
to
has an eye
assist
for
a
publishing.
cast of increasingly bizarre
got a future ahead of
characters in a world rapidly losing
to
its
Yomi, though, right?
natural
Oof.
resources.
I'm saying.
And that's just the beginning of your
The working
investigation.
clock is wrong.
Plenty
Twice
of
a day.
dark
yes.
twists and turns lie ahead.
Gunbrella.
Damn it.
launches on Nintendo
2023.
Switch
Oh,
next year.
Motherfuckers,
How
man.
dare you?
Okay, stay tuned to Nindy's
everyone.
events in
I'm Jared
2024
Huntley,
showing that.
lead programmer on We Are OFK.
And I'm Luca LaFay, lead singer of the band OFK.
We're super excited to announce
Yeah,
that
the
our
sync
music
is off.
Why
biopic
is the
game
sync off?
is coming to Nintendo Switch.
Yes! Ooh, I can play it on a tour bus. Ugh, I can't wait to tour together.
I think this might
We
be the
haven't
first
seen
time
each
they
other
announced it
since
for
that
Switch.
music video brainstorm at your place in LA in 2019.
Yeah, wow. And with the game on handheld,
Well, they chatted up,
it'll be
Roger,
easy
is
to
it-
play the new episodes that are
Is it
coming
worth
out every
cutting your
single
Discord
week,
your
back to
Discord
back.
window and then
Can't wait
resharing
to
and see if
share
that fixes
OFK's
it?
story and music with y'all.
People are saying that it's from the
Hey,
source.
Jared, can I get
Like,
your opinion on
Bill
tour
also
outfits?
tweeted it that it's off.
She can be happy or mad, Andy.
If what?
I don't know, that person on the phone. I'm just showing you branching narratives here, you know?
Oh, gotcha. Oh, she could be happy or mad. I thought you were saying I got you.
Oh, you could be.
I was vibing to the music.
You're all the different, emotions of the rainbow.
Mm-hmm.
Music was fire.
Music is fire.
This musical narrative from indie pop band OFK is gonna take you on quite the emotional ride. Set in downtown Los Angeles, Itsumi Saito struggles to establish herself in LA's ruthless music scene while managing a full-time job, a social life, and a
impossible.
brutal commute. But a chance encounter with a rising Hollywood
Pick
music
one.
producer may give her the edge she needs to achieve her dreams.
Through episodes released weekly and
Like the hair.
interactive music videos with a fully voiced cast, you'll witness the lives of Itsumi and her friends unfold.
You're allowed to take a break and
Weekly
not be
releases,
okay
that's
for a
interesting.
second.
Thank you.
In music videos.
From
for
fighting over
narrative.
song lyrics at band practice to sending silly memes via text. It's a heartfelt making of the
sending silly
band
memes
journey that's
via text.
sure to pull at your heartstrings.
We Are OFK. Drums onto Nintendo Switch this summer.
Hi, I'm Dom.
And I'm Tom.
And we're Spiral Circus.
We are an indie games developer based in Bristol, UK, and our passion for the stranger and surreal side of art is what brought us together.
We both come from really different backgrounds. I was a research scientist and Tom's a fine artist.
Because of the pandemic, we've been an entirely remote team, and almost all of Silt has been hand-drawn at night by me, which seems entirely appropriate for the subject matter.
Our audio designer even set up a fish tank in his studio to record the underwater sounds that you'll be hearing throughout the game.
We're really excited for you to experience our hand-drawn work brought to life, and we hope you enjoy exploring the strange oceanic world of
fish are all
Silt
dead.
on Nintendo Switch.
One of
Take
them
a
escaped.
deep breath and dive into the harrowing ocean abyss. In the depths of this puzzle adventure from Spiral Circus Games, you'll unravel long forgotten
There's nothing like
mysteries as you
hand-drawn shit, man.
explore
It just
a
gives
surreal
such a different
underwater realm
level
filled
of
with
depth to this
strange
type of game.
machinery ancient
definitely
ruins,
underwater.
and dangerous ocean inhabitants.
Nah, fuck eels, bro.
A variety of sea creatures can be
Ever
possessed.
since Mario 64, never
Harness
trusted
their
him.
abilities to solve puzzles.
Gotta be careful when you
navigate
fall.
the haunting environment and survive encounters against deep sea Goliaths. There's more than meets the eye
I feel
in
like
this
Limbo and Inside kind of ruined
monochrome world.
any game in this genre for me.
Plunge
'Cause
into
they're
the
never gonna
dark
be as
waters of Silt. Launching
Yeah,
on
and that even
Nintendo
looked like it had
Switch
some
next
inside
month.
vibes.
Yeah.
With the water shit.
Hey, a way to avoid traffic. Morning commutes
This game's
can be
dope.
a real
I
jam.
remember this from Apple Arcade.
If you get my drift.
Oh, I know, right? But guess what? In many motorways from developer Dinosaur Polo Club, the key to solving the city's congestion problems is you. Draw and build roads to create a bustling metropolis
Yeah, there's
and
like
keep
that air
traffic
traffic
flowing on
control
maps
game
inspired
on
by
iPhone and
real-life
iPad
cities.
12
As
years
demands
ago, and you're like, wow,
interchange,
you gotta
you'll
check this out,
continuously
dude.
redesign and expand
The-
via
Indie devs.
upgrades like highways
The
and
EU
roundabouts.
version of the stream apparently
Ramp
is
up
not
the
out of sync. Do
difficulty
you think
by
it's worth
taking
it
part
for me to
in
switch
daily
over and
and
take like a
weekly
second?
Challenges.
Figure
More
that out.
maps will unlock
Alright.
as you become a master road designer. How long can you keep the cities of the world
Cute design of
moving?
Helvetica. And they're
Buckle up
crushing it.
for mini motorways, cruising onto Nintendo Switch later today.
Remember the marble game for iPod Touch?
Whoa, a flying hospital. That's new. I've never seen that before.
I'm
Then
so in.
hop aboard this heartfelt narrative adventure from Ghost Pattern, set in 1970s
Heartfelt narrative adventure.
rural
I'm
Australia.
fucking in. Let's go. Here's my
As
money.
intrepid teen journalist Casey, you'll come
But Greg,
to know
hospitals
a
aren't supposed to be in the
diverse
sky.
cast of eclectic voiced characters.
I can't wait to find
through
out
the
what happened in
stories
this
they
world.
tell, and
I
the
need the
moments
go
I
they
need
outside.
the
share.
Vince McMahon meme
Each
of
story
Greg.
unfolds
She's
in
go-
real
she's
time.
going-
at
she's
the
going through
same time,
adolescence.
so
You're
you
like,
get
what?
to choose which ones you want to
Her father
see.
died of cancer. What?
Follow the hospital's inhabitants, eavesdrop on them, or enter the room and be part of the conversation.
Darcy, right? Mrs. B's kid?
It's, Casey. Not, Casey. Just Casey.
Sure.
By keeping track of information in your notebook and spending time with certain characters, you might unearth new stories, locations, and revelations.
She looks like an oi governor person
Multiple
if I've ever seen
playthroughs will
one.
also give you the opportunity to witness
lots of
other
oi governors
events,
in this fine
allowing
hospital,
you
let me
to
tell you.
delve deeper into the stories and weave together mysteries aboard the airship. Wayward Strand lands on Nintendo Switch July 21st.
Tim is yawning. I thought he was stoked about the font
A
treatment there.
randomly generated
nice.
world awaits in this action-adventure game from Massive Monster. As a possessed lamb saved by a foreboding stranger from a ritual sacrifice, you need to repay your debt by creating a loyal community of woodland worshippers.
Gather resources to build structures. Then, gather your courage to brave deadly dungeons like the Silt Cradle. Venture through its dark depths, teeming with razor spiders and toxic millipedes, to challenge the dungeon's overlord Shimura. There ain't anything sheepish about
This
it.
art style is so sick.
Cult of
Yeah.
the Lamb trots onto Nintendo Switch
If you
this
show me
year.
an art style and you have a cool drawn frog, I'm like, all right. That's like
That's the test.
That's a test, yeah.
Uh-oh, Greg. The other genre of games Greg loves.
Yeah,
Crab
like a crab game. I thought I was gonna yell about not being the voice of this.
Oh my
but then
God,
it's
Andy.
an aggro crab.
Souls like. Ah.
They got you.
Turn this bullshit off, dude. That's crazy.
It's just a crab fighting other crabs. Awesome. Remember aggro crab made I just lost it. Going under. Thank you.
Oh.
That was that one I liked a lot.
Actually makes way more
Office
sense.
Place roguelike.
In my head, I thought they were the developers of Fight Crab, and I was like, this does not look like that.
I love that Aggo Crab is just like a play on words for Aggo Crag.
Hey, Crab fans, I'm Nick. And I'm Caleb. Previously, Aggro Crab released Going Under, and it didn't make us rich. So this time, we're selling out and giving people what they want.
Y'all should have played Going Under. It was
Our
great.
second project is a crustacean-themed Souls-like, another crab's treasure.
Through our extensive research, we found that crabs are the perfect enemy for an action game.
That little
They've got
secret
natural
mirror
weapons, can
among
strafe
us
from
guy.
side to side, and you can hit their weak point for massive damage.
Souls-likes are known for their
yeah.
difficulty,
Hey.
and we want to create a game that
Massive
maintains
damage
that
crab
challenge
joke.
while being approachable for
2022, I
new
love
fans
it.
of the genre.
Ooh, what if you died in one hit when you're not wearing a shell?
I just said it's supposed to be approachable.
Oh, what if every time you dodge roll, there's like a 1% chance that you just trip and fall over?
Well, looks like our segment's over, everyone.
It's time
Smash
for
Bros.
crab.
Brawl jokes. I like
Yeah.
these guys.
All right, Eriko, put your pincers
Going under
up.
was really funny.
Oh, here we go with the crab puns.
Crab-salutely.
Anyway, in this action adventure from Aggro Crab, you'll embark on an epic treasure hunt under the sea to buy back your repossessed shell. While wading through this underwater world plagued by pollution and sinister secrets, you'll scavenge for trash and use it as a shell to defend yourself in challenging combat.
There are over
I like this.
50 potential shells, so get shellfish with them and repel enemies with powerful umami magic. If you don't, you'll be in a pinch before
Crab's
you know
buff.
it. After all, one crab's
That's
trash
one buff crab.
is another crab's
I mean,
treasure.
come on, I gotta call him like I
Sidestep
see him,
onto
all right?
Nintendo Switch next year. For our last segment, we'd like to show you a sneak peek of several more indie games coming to Nintendo Switch. Enjoy!
Montage. Gonna need a montage
Montage
in
ends.
this indie world.
Too many. Whoa, you're just swinging little monkey.
It's available today.
Hey,
Oh,
I was
shit.
playing this on PC.
Oh yeah, I remember this. Seeing this.
This is like where you cheat, right?
You little nasty cheater.
That little nasty.
First to golf.
We played this, yeah. This was really fun. They say later this summer.
I see.
More games got to do that. Like, here's our stylized version.
That's
We're running
all
at 30
for today's Indie World. We hope you enjoyed the slew of games in today's showcase.
A big thank you to our indie community and indie partners working on games for Nintendo Switch. And as always, thank you for watching.
Check out our official Twitter account to stay up to date on all the latest Indie World news. Until next time, happy gaming!
Any second now, they're coming back with one more thing. everybody.
Exactly.
Ending on a montage. That's
Who
always-
decided to end?
always
I just
weak.
don't get it. We're going to
Weak way
talk
to
all
do
about it. But before we do that, let's check out a word from our sponsors. Shout out to MeUndies for sponsoring this episode. You know those days when your coffee shop is out of cold brew and your air conditioner breaks, you try to go to the beach, but there's 0 parking spots? Yeah, life can be hard. Good thing MeUndies is here to help you take a break from the hardships of the world and give yourself a soft summer. Of course, I don't need to tell you. I got the MeUndies shirt. I got the MeUndies lounge pants. I'm wearing the MeUndies undies, the socks. Even my face mask is MeUndies. I absolutely love MeUndies and their soft micromodal fabric, and you're gonna love it too. I absolutely guarantee it. With MeUndies light and breathable micromodal fabric, you can stay comfy and cool all summer long. They have super fun seasonal prints and tons of styles to choose from in sizes extra small all the way up to 4XL. MeUndies has a great offer for all of you. Any first-time purchasers, you can get 15% off. If you sign up for the free to join membership, you can apply that 15% off to their already discounted membership prices. To get 15% off your first order and 100% satisfaction guarantee, go to MeUndies.com/KindaFunny. That's MEUNDIES.com/KindaFunny. funny. Shout out to Credit Karma for sponsoring this episode. Have you ever been rejected for a credit card? It happens way too often. That's why Credit Karma created Karma Confidence technology, helping members apply with more confidence. Are you earning credit card rewards? Credit Karma can help you compare your rewards options so you can find a card that fits your lifestyle, helping you earn miles or cash back for spending money that you're gonna spend anyways. Of course, I'm a huge fan of that. I love Credit Karma. One of my favorite features is how Credit Karma uses your credit data to show you your chances of approval before you even apply, which helps you apply with more confidence, and then it doesn't affect your credit score. Credit Karma uses your credit profile to show you offers that are tailored to your financial situation. They also partner with a wide range of card issuers, so you can be sure that you're exploring all sorts of options. I love Credit Karma. It's so easy to use. Fantastic stuff. Credit Karma, create your own karma. Ready to find the card for you? Head to Credit Karma and check out your personalized mix of offers today. Go to creditkarma.com or the Credit Karma app to find the card for you. That's creditkarma.com. And we're back, everybody. No technical mishaps at all. It's all good.
Way to go,
it's
Andy.
Funny, everybody. So let's talk about this. What did we think about it? Andy Cortez, let's start with you.
Gunbrella. I mean, what more is there to say but Gunbrella? Lots of cute, cozy offerings, like sort of stuff that we normally expect to see. What the fuck is that? What was that? What?
That's a recommended video because the YouTube says that, hey, if you're going to talk about Indie World, you should probably talk about Silksong, but Nintendo doesn't agree.
What an awful way for YouTube to do that to me. Gunbrella looks incredible. That's kind of the main game that I remember and focus on. I think the action looks super sick in there, and again, it just kind of reminds me of an old school approach to game design where we have one really good mechanic that we feel like we can mold and shape a whole game around, and you can upgrade that, of course, but it's kind of like, this is what the game is, and it looks like there will be different ways to kind of test your skills with this sort of one mechanic. I don't know, it just looks really awesome and fun, and the art style I think is really different. Obviously it's pixel art, so it's nothing we haven't seen before, but color scheme wise, we don't see a whole lot of games using browns in this way. It's very like Western kind of vibe, and I think it looks awesome as hell, and it's honestly the only game I really remember from this whole showcase.
On this one, I'm right there with you. This was definitely the standout for me. I agree that the art style, while just looking at it, it's like, oh, it's another 2D platformer. It's like, I love the style choice they did for the types of pixels they're using, and the level of animation I think is a lot higher than we normally get from when characters look normally like that, kind of like short and stout, like we kind of expect more of a Celeste type look to the game. But this seems like really, really detailed and intricate, which is cool. And the gameplay mechanic stuff, I'm getting a lot of vibes of like the original DuckTales here, to what you're saying. Like, take that one mechanic and just like go crazy with it, of Scrooge, doing like the pogo thing, like taking this umbrella and then it's also a gun. I think is going to be a really cool call. I'm super excited for this. 2023 seems very, very far away for a game like this. I wonder how many more times we'll see it, or if it's going to be one of those games we don't see a million times and forget it's actually coming out. You know what I mean? Because I feel like those happen very often these days. But continue, Andy.
I mean, I ended my statement with like that. This is kind of the main game that I remember seeing. I'm sure you'll jog my memory, but it is kind of early, so apologies for that.
Greg Miller.
I thought this was a lot of great Greg games. A lot of things on there. I think Gunbrella is at the top of the list for me as well. I thought Wild Frost looked great. That card game, that looked really cute. I could see myself playing that on Switch on the plane next week. But guess what? That's a holiday game. Lame. We Are OFK still seems neat, and I like the music, and I like this idea. I don't know if I like the weekly episodes, but I like the idea of the music videos and just being a musical narrative, as they called it. Excited to do that. Another Crab's Treasure. If you put Aggro Crab in front of it, like I said, I loved Going Under. I thought that was a really funny game. This looks funny as well. I don't understand why I'm not the voice of it. It's just one of those things where that's another 2023 game. Gunbrella is 2023. Wild Frost is holiday, and OFK is this summer. So I'm always excited for these because I like the available now. And don't get me wrong, Soundfall is available today. You can get on it right now. Mini Motorways, if I hadn't already played it on iOS, I'd probably be more stoked for it. But I thought, there's a lot of cute games here, a lot of, like we were talking about, cozy games. There's things I'm excited for here on my indie list now.
Blessing.
Yeah, I similarly thought this is cool, right? Like, I think this is what you expect from an Indie World Showcase. Like, these aren't ever going to, I think, blow us away from the huge reveals back to back to back, right? It's not going to be here's Hollow Knight followed by here's other big indie game that we're looking forward to. I think for me, I come into Indie World Showcases looking for updates on games like Cult of the Lamb, right? Or other games that you might not know are coming to Switch, games like We Are OFK. It's nice getting that that update that, oh shit, cool, I can play this here. That is awesome. Like Andy, I really loved Gunbrella. I think Gunbrella looked dope as hell. The art style looked awesome. It reminded me of chat. If you know what I'm talking about, there's a game that came out last fall for Switch that was an RPG that looked a little bit Earthboundish, that a lot of people were excited for. Eastward, yes, Eastward is exactly what I was looking for. It reminded me a little bit of that, and I love the art style of that game, but I ended up just not following through because ended up not being a game for me. Gunbrella looks like it is a game for me, and it looks like it is going to have that similar level of like, oh shit, this is really unique in terms of how it looks. And so I'm looking forward to that. And then also I would shout out to the developer. It's the same dev as Gato Roboto. That was also published by Devolver Digital. Very small game, but playing Gato Roboto, that game was dope as hell, and not enough people played it and talked about it. And it's nice seeing them give it another shot with a game that looks like it's going to appeal to more people. And shout out to Devolver Digital's eye for publishing, because like it seems like they're nonstop, right? Like we make fun of Trek to Yomi, but I know plenty of people that like that game as well. And at the very least, that game is very gorgeous in its art style. So like I'm very much looking forward to that. Soundfall being available later today, that's the thing that really got me excited. Like Soundfall is a game that I played at a previous PAX, and I thought that game was cool. Seeing it at the Indie World Showcase, I was like, all right, let's see how this goes. Let's see, like, I want to see if this game actually excites me in its trailer, which I think it's failed to do, even though I think the gameplay was fun when I tried it out. Seeing it available later today, I think is going to do so much for that game. So I think that was awesome. ElecHead, which Roger is showing right now. This is definitely another highlight for me. I think it was the other highlight that wasn't Gunbrella. I think this game looks cool. I think the art style looks dope. The music that I was playing was dope. The puzzles look really unique, and they really sold me on this one based on the trailer. And so shout out to that. But yeah, shout out to another Crab's Treasure. I think that game looks at the very least interesting. I want to try it out. And yeah, overall, like I thought this was a good showcase. It didn't blow me away, but I had a good time with it. I think my big critique might be that I think there should be a better balance of the kinds of genres you're showing, because I feel like they lean a lot on the cozy stuff. And I'm sad that Greg probably dropped to take care of Ben, because I'd want to hear Greg's thoughts about that, because I know Greg is the cozy game person, and I for one, like, I'm down for a cozy game here or there, but I'm not one I'm not a person that necessarily automatically gravitates towards it. Like there has to be an additional hook that'll grab me in, and then I'll play it. But I feel like a large percentage of these games at the indie showcase are ending up being in that cozy category, and I wonder if that is just hey, there's a lot of people in our audience that like gravitate towards those, and so like it does as well to have a high percentage of those games, or maybe it is just hey, these games are easier to get. Who knows? But aside from that, I had a pretty good time with this.
Yeah, I think you're actually onto something there. I feel like the cozy game kind of phenomenon going on now is this era's retro 2D platformers that indies had for the last kind of like decade plus, right? Like I think that what an indie game means, like it's funny, like before, if you said, oh, did you check out this new indie game? You're probably thinking of a 2D platformer. I think that there then was an era of like, oh, some type of top-down RPG. Now I feel like indie game, chances are you might be thinking about some type of cozy game. Like they really have a dominance over the indie market in that way, especially on the Nintendo side of things. I agree with you guys. I thought this was a good presentation in the sense of the games that were being shown. I'm right there with you. Gunbrella is the standout for me. ElecHead right behind it. Other games that we've heard of before that I'm still kind of interested in. We Are OKF. Or OFK and Cult of the Lamb, like those look great. Curse to Golf, like games that we are kind of known quantities. But I think my biggest disappointment with this is the same thing it usually is, which is the presentation of this all ending on a montage, not having that one more thing moment is just kind of weird. And a lot of this reads to me of like, why did this need to happen now? Like, I feel like if I were producing a showcase of indie games, I would want to get as many release dates out there as possible, especially if it's coming soon. Like the amount of out this summers is weird to me. And I feel like this might just be a new era that we're in now. I don't know if it has to do more with the pandemic or more to do with smaller developers just being like, yo, we're not putting a date on it till we absolutely know what it is. And hey, respect to them for that. But as a consumer, it kind of reads weird that we still don't have a release date for things like Shredder's Revenge all the way down to half the games they showed here. I feel like not having a release date for We Are OFK when they're talking about weekly releases and music videos it's a little weird to me because summer's coming up like very, very, very soon. And I wonder if this indie world happened now because it was kind of forced to get ahead of the bigger season that we have coming up, as well as getting those out today games. Like I wonder with the indie developers, like definitely looking at this indie world as a big kind of boon for them in terms of getting eyes on their games. I wonder how many have been done with the games, have just been sitting on it and they're like, we don't want to sit anymore. Let's do it. Put it out today, because there was a couple out todays in this showcase. But I just think it's interesting. We're in like this turning point when it comes to how these games are talked about and distributed. But I am definitely not stoked about the amount of things that are like, hey, the coolest stuff is 2023, and a lot of the other stuff that we got updates on, we didn't get proper updates on. We just kind of saw more of, and I think that's when Greg and I sat down to talk about the Kind of Funny Game Showcase, we're like, the one thing we want to make sure we do is every single thing we're showing is either a brand new game or has new information, right? That matters. And I feel like sometimes they don't follow those rules, and that's their prerogative. But I think that it is detrimental to the format as a whole.
Yeah, I think it was a bummer, especially for both Cult of the Lamb and We Are OFK, for games that we've seen for a while and are excited for, right? Like every single time I see Cult of the Lamb or OFK pop up at a presentation, I am like, man, we've seen this a lot. But I also am like, oh man, are we finally gonna get the date? Are we finally gonna get the date? And to see those here and to not get a date, for me is a bummer. And I'm right there with you, Tim. I think a lot of this I was like, all right, what is the purpose here? And like, of course, the purpose is to show us new games. The purpose is to get us excited for these indie games that might not show up at a regular Nintendo Direct. And also, like, Nintendo doesn't have a PlayStation blog where, all right, cool, we have 7 games that we want to show off. Cool, let's just tweet them out and make a blog post for each of them. Nintendo doesn't necessarily have that, and I wonder if maybe they need something along those lines. Even though I know that gets into like a murky place of the balance of all that, because I know a lot of people are like, why the fuck are you announcing these games on the PlayStation blog? And then other people are like, why the fuck are you making a presentation out of this thing? This did hit that like weird middle place of, could have been an email, maybe, except for the fact that I got Gunbrella and I'm exposed now to ElecHead, and I'm excited for ElecHead as well. Like, yeah, I don't know. Like, I'm curious to see what this means for their Nintendo Direct in the summer, assuming they have a Nintendo Direct in the summer, and like, if we are going to get just bangers from that and even more indie updates from that. But yeah, this is one that I feel like, even though it was good, even though I had a good time, and even though I got exposed to new games, to some extent, maybe could have been an email.
I think in a way, like what Blessing is saying right now about ElecHead, we've seen this game before. It's just Blessing's first time.
Yeah.
And this may have been the first time people saw Cult of the Lamb or We Are OFK. And not everybody's like necessarily watching every presentation. So I think I think it would be ideal to present older audiences and people that have seen these games with newer information. But a lot of times these are kind of just gentle reminders in a way. A little re-poking on the email, Tim. We're like, hey, just by the way, wanted to remind you about this fucking game that we showed you a year and a half ago, and we've been through a lot over this pandemic, so hopefully you remember it. And I think I think a lot of those are just gentle reminders. Again, it'd be great to get newer information, release date type stuff, or maybe a new mode or a new feature that they're adding since the last time we saw it. But a lot of times it is just sort of a reminder, and I expect a lot of these indie showcases to kind of take that same formula of, here's 60-70% games that you've never seen before, or maybe have seen at PAXs or different conventions, and here's about 30-ish% of games that you've seen before. We're giving you another look at it, a new trailer, new systems we're showing off or whatever.
It's a really good point, especially when you keep in mind that indie games are fairly unique as third-party games kind of more and more fall off the wayside, especially in terms of presentations. Like, we essentially have Ubisoft and I mean, that's pretty much it, right? Like, EA's like not even doing an EA play, and like just like the amount of people that are actually out there doing these like showcase type things. Indies are unique in that PlayStation, Microsoft, and Nintendo and PC, like the Steam side, all have different showcases specifically for indie games. And a lot of those indie games are cross-platform in some way. So we end up seeing them a lot, even though it's on different people's timelines and different plans, right? So it's kind of making an audience aware of a game, especially when it comes to Nintendo, that typically get it either very soon, right after PC, and it's going to come later to Xbox and PlayStation, or they're getting it at the super tail end after everyone else already got it. But hey, now it's portable, right? So there is something there. I just think that it's still these. When you have these bigger titles, like I feel like there needs to be like what's the one key performance indicator for Nintendo as this was a success? Like, what is the call to action here? And I feel like this kind of lacked that call to action. It was kind of more just like a awareness play. And hey, again, there's awareness of a lot of great looking games. Like, that's the thing, is at the end of the day, this entire showcase, I was like, hey, majority of these were cool and they're for somebody, right? Like, I'm not looking at this like, why the fuck are they doing this? Which is the case for some of the lesser showcases. But I still do look at it like it's been a while since we've had an indie world. So while I can't say, oh, I'm disappointed that Sports Story and Hollow Knight weren't there, there is that kind of lingering feeling of like, okay, well, they weren't there and they didn't even have the answer of when We Are OFK is actually coming out. And they didn't, like have the actual dates and things to back up for some of the bigger titles. And the most exciting things were 2023. So we're just setting up to get on a journey of seeing that 10,000 times. But again, indie games are a completely different business than the big AAA stuff and the way that they need to be kind of talked about and reminded. But that to me goes back to the argument of you want a clear call to action. You want to get people excited and you want them to know, hey, here's this dope thing. You're going to want to buy it and buy it now, or soon at least. But yeah, any closing thoughts on Indie World?
One day we'll get Silk Song. I
One day
promise
we
you,
will.
gamers.
Andy.
Greg mentioned that he's going to have more thoughts on KFGD. So if you're looking for more Greg's perspective, you can check that out. And then also I do want to shout out that like ElecHead is already out on PC and I can play it on this beautiful big old Steam Deck right here.
Oh,
So I'm going
wow.
to have a great time later today playing some ElecHead.
Fantastic. If you want more thoughts on the Nintendo Direct or Nintendo Indie World that we just saw, Kind of Funny Games Daily at 10 a.m. Pacific on twitch.tv/kindoffunnygames. We'll be diving into that. I think it's Greg and Janet. So you'll get even more Greg and a new perspective from Janet. And she loves a whole bunch of these type of games. So I'm sure that will be very insightful stuff. But until next time, I love you all. Goodbye. Shout out to Roger for running the show. He's a badass.